Hey guys, hey, how y'all doing today? So, I decided to come back on my channel today and do another video for you guys. I got this book a number of years ago. I'm not sure how long ago now. It's been a while. But it took a while over the years. Probably about 2 years, possibly 1 or 2 years I've had this book for. It took me like a little while to completely read through it in its entirety. As you can see, it's a workbook. Like, you put your own comments in there and stuff. And I decided to bring this book and read it to you guys because I felt like maybe it can help somebody like it helped me. Like, I've been working on keeping myself stable and focused with my reading and my writing, and keeping myself up on things, as well as like keeping up with my businesses and stuff, even though at the moment things aren't like flowing the way I really would like for them to as of now, but staying on focus even regardless. That's been my motto. So that's why I have this book here. So I'm not sure if I'm going to read through the entire last page, because it is a little lengthy, but I'll do the best that I can. So, as you guys probably already know, if you've already been watching my channel and watched a few of my videos already since I've been back on YouTube, you probably have already seen where I mentioned that I've been working a lot lately. You know, I've been huge on hustle mode and like really working and staying focused on work. So, meanwhile, I've been working so much, I've also been, like I said, staying on everything else. And that would include my reading. And this is one of the books that I was reading while I was working. So, like, while I had my full time hours, guys, I was trying to keep this in view so you guys can see it, but literally it's in my way at this point, so I have to move it. But at least I kept it in view for a while though. But basically, for about 6 to 7 months, almost 8 months, I had a full time position as a cleaner at Rivers Casino. So while I was there, like I said, it was full time hours. So while I was there doing the full time hours, on our breaks, we had a 45-minute break and we had a 15-minute break. So on our breaks, sometimes I would go and read and study. And so this is the type of books that I would read, as well as also books to help me with my professionalism, on top of just self-help, self-guiding books like this one. So the name of this book is called Self-Love Workbook for Women: Release Self-Doubt, Build Self-Compassion, and Embrace Who You Are. Megan Logan, MSW. So that's the name of the book and who wrote it. So basically, I decided to pick the last chapter, um, just because it seemed feasible, and just skimming through some of the stuff, it seemed like it still stands what I learned out of the chapter. So that's where I'm going to read from. Like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to read the entire chapter because it's a little thick. It's not super thick, but it's a little thick. It's that thick. So I don't know if I'm going to read all of that, but I'm going to read as much as I can. and share with you guys what I got out of it, what I learned from the, passage. So, this is page 8, which is the last page of the book, and it's called Embrace Who You Are. Okay? I am beginning to measure myself in strength, not pounds, sometimes in smiles. Laura Hales Anderson. By now, you have hopefully experienced some thrills in learning more about yourself, which I did while I was reading this book. Learn more about yourself while appreciating beautiful insights along the way. In this final chapter, everything you have worked on will come together as you reach the last leg of the journey. Fully embracing yourself, the areas covered have created a strong foundation and built skills for you to use in development and expanding your self-love into the future. This chapter reflects on the growth you have made and clarifies all the ways you can continue to allow for the best version of yourself. We will explore your goals and dreams and expand even farther outside of your comfort zone to find the space where your next journey begins. My unique gifts. An important part of fully embracing yourself involves knowing your gifts, talents, and strengths. As we have discussed, sometimes others' feedback can give us evidence to support our newfound self-appreciation. And the gift pictured here, fill in the things that you love about yourself. Don't be shy. Remember, you are a gift. So, I challenge you guys, my true tribe, to do what I did and do the exercise. Write 4 sections and create it like a gift, like this picture here. I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well because I don't have it that light in here, but it looks like a gift. So do 4 sections like a gift and then write down the different details about yourself that you like about yourself. So I'm going to tell you guys what I came up with. So I'm very sweet, kind, and generous. I'm helpful and inspirational. I'm driven and I'm very strong. I have great work ethic and I'm smart. I'm a great friend, considerate and lovable and loving. I'm fair and understanding. I'm very creative and intentionally about all I do. Also, I'm learning to be more stable and organized and productive, working on good habits to become greater in my future. I'm very genuine. I'm a go-getter. I'm learning better how to not make excuses no matter what, work through and work things out. So those are my things that I love about myself. Make sure that if you want to exercise doing these types of things yourself, you can do the exercise yourself. Okay, so next, it says things that make me smile. An important component of embracing yourself is fully knowing yourself. While recognizing our gifts is essential, so too is knowing what makes us smile. In order to practice self-love, it helps to know what brings us happiness. Fill in the hearts with a few of those things. Consider nature, people, animals, ideas, and experiences. They could be small things like making your favorite tea every morning or taking your dog for a walk. Okay. So they have these little hearts that they ask you to write in there what makes you happy. So these are a few of my things that make me happy. Getting compliments, animals or people being positive to me, getting really pretty, going shopping, going on dates, being spoiled, doing anything that helps me to take care of me, learning new things that help me later when I'm right, doing things that show off my skills and my talents, seeing my business become successful, being adventurous and traveling and learning about the world around me. So those are things that make me smile. So I decided to tell you guys a little backstory about my work situation because the times that I was reading and taking notes and studying this book, I was at work. And I was noticing a lot of things. And that's why I wasn't even surprised when they laid me off, fired me, told me that I was terminated, whatever you want to call it. That's why I wasn't even surprised when they finally did do it. I was surprised how they did it, but I wasn't surprised that they did it because I had noticed how there was a lot of coworkers of mine that was very nasty and rude either to the clients, the clientele, or management. Very rude, very nasty, cussing people out and everything. And now, mind you, I'm not even going to hold you. I don't know necessarily whether those people who was being cussed out deserve to be cussed out. But my point in saying that is that's exactly the reason why a lot of times I don't have a regular job and I rather work for myself because I don't like having to sit there and while I was writing and reading and taking information in for myself, I was paying attention obviously also to my environment and peeping how people are cussing, like I said, clients and management out. People are taking a lot of days off, way more days than me. Sometimes, like I think it was one girl that took out for like a whole month, and she came back like nothing happened. And it was just like I said, not surprising to me, but it was kind of ironic because it's ironic how people claim to run things a certain type of way, but then if you really pay attention to how they running things, they really not running it the way that they say they are. And that business was just one of them businesses that just showed me that. Like, anyway, while I was taking these notes and stuff and reading and things like that, I was just peeping certain stuff. And so that's why I decided to give y'all a little backstory while I was, just in the flow. But anyway, I'm going to continue. Love your quirks. Part of embracing yourself is knowing and accepting our flaws and imperfections. Imagine the power that comes from allowing ourselves to be perfectly imperfect and still know our worth. The world becomes limitless in all we can do and experience when we operate from a place of acceptance and humor, with a mindset that embraces learning and growing. Sometimes hard learned lessons leave scars and imperfections long after the fact, and that's okay. Embracing our imperfections and quirks is an important step towards fully loving yourself. List 5 quirks and imperfections that make you special. So, I listed my 5 here. One is I can be clingy and annoying sometimes. 2 is I'm working on it, but I have a weakness for looks. Need to get better with that. Sometimes I can procrastinate and make excuses, but I'm training myself not to do so anymore. Sometimes I allow people and opinions of people to upset me, and I shouldn't. I don't drive or cook because I choose not to, and that helps me keep people from taking advantage and using me too much in those areas. So, um, I really enjoyed going through this chapter, this whole book, really, because like it did pretty much like make me think and remember and remind myself of a lot of the different attributes that I do have that I tend to not usually think about. But because of reading this book and doing these exercises, it makes me think about it. So, guys, if you need to like remind yourself of who you are, if you need to just like just brush up on self-love interactions and realizing how to love yourself, get this book, okay? And no, this is not sponsored. I'm just sharing it with you guys because it definitely did help me and still is. Even just reading back over, things, it helps me. So if it can help me, it can probably help you. So that's why I'm being a good friend and a good leader to my tribe by telling you guys about this book so that maybe you can go get you the same book or something similar and help yourself and learn how to love yourself better. Because yes, this is definitely at the moment teaching me how to love myself better, respect myself better, appreciate myself better, and demand that people that I do choose to be around treat me better, respect me better, love me better. Don't treat me like I'm nothing, because I'm everything. But anyway, I'm going to continue. So, things I'm grateful for on this journey. Gratitude has the power to transform our perspective and improve moments of pain and suffering. Learning to find gratitude in our experience humbles us as we grow and accept lessons along our journey. Make a list of 5 things that you feel grateful for as you fully embrace this self love experience. And I did exactly that. And my number one thing is life and health, as well as energy, being in my right mind, having what I need and being able to get it, God's love and direction, and the mental strength where I believe in me no matter what. Embracing myself. Part of fully loving yourself is, as we have discussed in previous chapters, involves treating ourselves kindly and wisely. Think of ways that you do this within your established boundaries. Fill in the lines provided with the examples of ways you embrace taking care of yourself. Physically, okay, so I physically take care of myself by studying and staying course with my mind. Emotionally, I take care of myself by making sure to talk about what bothers me. Financially, I've taken care of myself by learning to save more. Mentally, I'm learning to feed my mind regularly, reading, writing, and studying. Socially, doing my best to be great and have people be great to me. So, in other words, I'm working on consistently staying focused on being good to people and being able to have that good karma of people being good to me. Okay, self compassion troubleshooting. When doing self exploration activities, it's always helpful to assess and evaluate what works and doesn't work well. In these next series of exercises, we'll take time to reflect on core components of our self love practice, to identify any areas that were difficult and came up in possible adjustments and improvements specific to your individual journey. Reflect for a moment on your self compassion practices when using this workbook. What was helpful in this exercise? What did you find challenging? Take some time to identify and list any barriers to fully embrace self compassion. To the space after this, think about the possible solutions. This is the brainstorming session. So there are no wrong ideas. Go ahead and express yourself. So what worked for me? Me overstanding myself and why I'm the way that I am has been working for me, and being patient with myself. Challenges in practicing self compassion. When I'm doing something new, sometimes I have to strategically have compassion for myself in the process. When I get overwhelmed, same thing happens. Ideas and ways to improve. Take one step at a time, do what you can, and stay focused and on major goals and dead the distractions. Mindfulness troubleshooting. Mindfulness, a core component in the self love journey, weaves throughout all the exercises in this book. As you develop a strong ability to practice mindfulness, your efforts can prove life changing by giving you ability to live life in the moment, free from judgment and worries. What is more mindful teaches us to accept and notice, to simply be. In doing so, we connect with the earth, the air, and all that exists around within us. We become part of the bigger picture and realize how perfect we fit within it. What worked for me in this exercise? I'm learning more how to be more grateful and live in the now, calming my anxiety and recognizing calm and peacefulness is okay. I face challenges in practicing mindfulness during this practice. I've been taught to focus on the later and not now. Living in the now is underrated, and I have to get used to that and stop looking forward to where I'm not at yet. Ideas and ways to improve in practicing mindfulness in the future. Reminding myself of how far I've come and how grateful and thankful I am for now. I'm paying more attention to now, be more mindful of what I'm grateful for. Boundary setting troubleshooting. We're exploring the idea that self love does not exist without boundaries. To set limits, we must feel worthy and willing to become uncomfortable. Boundary setting can feel scary and painful, especially when we're new to it. When boundary setting is combined with mindfulness, we can move past this discomfort. Let's consider what worked and didn't work in setting boundaries. What worked for me in the workbook? Once I learned to set boundaries, I realized it takes a lot of self-control and self-discipline. Just stick to the boundaries. Challenges in practicing setting boundaries that I have realized. The most challenging part of setting boundaries is ensuring you stick to those boundaries no matter what, even when challenged. Ideas and ways to improve in setting boundaries. Setting boundaries help you to set tone for your life. This helps you reach goals and accomplish what most people don't do. Helps to take control of your life. Instead of, and I didn't put this part down there, but it helps to control your life instead of allowing life to basically take you through a roller coaster ride that might make you feel like you constantly about to die. Okay, 5 ways to take control. Speaking of taking control, like I said, it helps you to be able to take control of your life. As we build upon practicing self-compassion, releasing self-doubt, setting boundaries, and having healthier relationships, we can consider our options. This empowers us to take control of ourselves. We have several options for how we can respond to challenges that come our way. Here are 5 options for how we might choose to approach and handle problems in our lives. These steps all involve acknowledging and accepting situations before we can take action. Changing the situation. Often we can change the situation by expressing our own wants and desires and communicating our preferences. While we might not always be able to alter the circumstances, since we don't control others' feelings, thoughts, and actions, we know that to change something, we must take action. Tolerate the situation. This option involves accepting and then learning to deal with things that way they are through various coping skills and perspective taking strategies. Of course, tolerating is not synonymous with liking. It may involve circling back over time to decide if it's time for change. Accepting the situation. In all reality, to change and to tolerate requires acceptance. However, this option of accepting the situation embraces the struggle or potential discomfort of accepting events that we cannot change. Accepting allows for sort of peace and requires strong mindfulness skills. It can feel empowering to accept something that can't be changed. Do nothing. This option is simple. Do not respond to address the situation, ignore it completely. It's not quite the same as acceptance, since doing nothing means not working towards acceptance. For anyone who has tried to accept the situation, you know it can feel like work. make it worse. Hopefully, you will not choose this option frequently. Making situations worse creates short and long term consequences in our lives and our situation relationships. It can create chaos and unnecessary drama. Identify a current situation that is weighing on you. Choose one of the five options and write about what response might look like in your situation. Is it the best choice? Right now, I'm on a journey to move to a new city. This is brand new for me. Never lived outside of Philly. So, because I never lived in another city, it's a little nerve wracking and scary. But to take control of those negative feelings, I'm choosing to accept everything for what it is and staying focused no matter what the case is. I have to get out of my comfort zone and branch out and learn new things and move to new places and meet new people. This is the only way that I can do that. Comfort zone. When we have the courage to reach out beyond our fears and take steps towards our goals, that is where living fully begins. Once you've embraced self love, your life will continue to expand. The possibilities are endless. In this exercise, in the smaller inside circle, identify situations and people with whom you feel comfortable and safe. In the circle, identify some of your limiting beliefs and insecurities. And in the third outer circle, list all the possibilities of your growth and dreams. Okay, so myself and anyone who is supporting me without me asking, my cat, my boyfriend, my best friend, people who are honest and transparent but also kind. People trying to make me think of I'm too old or I'm running out of time to do what I want with my life. The misconception that the older you get, people try to say you can't do anything. I get my businesses successful, making more than enough money where finally I can get. Y'all, I can't really see it. Sorry. I'm trying to read it for y'all, but the way that they had me write it is like in circles, and I can't really. I can't really see what I wrote. But I think y'all kind of get the vibe. Next, I work a work in progress. The journey towards self love is never ending. We will continually grow and change throughout different developmental stages in our lives and family life cycles. This workbook can be used many times throughout your life journey and can serve as a resource for years to come. In the space provided, identify three areas in which you feel you still need to improve, grow, and expand. Try setting a reminder in your calendar to check in with yourself every 6 months to see how you are doing with your self love practice. Comfortably live in a new city. Make 10,000 and learn to invest. Get YouTube channel monetized. Okay, learning about myself. Self exploration can feel heavy and intense at times. When we become vulnerable and honest with ourselves, we open the door for insight and awareness to shine the light on the darkest places. Hopefully, through this workbook, you have learned so much about yourself. Take a moment and share here how you have grown personally in completing these activities. I've learned to pay more attention to myself and my progress, learning healthier ways to operate smarter, not harder, learning to stop working against myself. Who are your heroines? Okay, so as we look back into history, we see countless empowering examples of strong, courageous women who embrace self love and change wholeheartedly. Here are some examples of women and girls, real and imagined, who represent the power of self love. Which one do you admire or want to be like? Feel free to list your own personal heroines. What is about these women that inspires you? So I wrote, Rosa Parks inspires me because, like she did, she had the courage to do what others couldn't. Maya Angelou, she inspired me because she wrote from the heart, the truth in a world full of liars. Jo March from Little Women was bold and a leader, and I admire that because I'm the same way. Harriet Tubman was fearless, though she had much fear. So those are a few of my heroines. Okay, sometimes it can be fun to play games where you come up with words that start with a certain letter in the alphabet. In the following exercise, find positive words that begin with the letter of your name. These words should reflect what makes you unique and worthy of love. If you like, use the thesaurus or Google positive words that start with each letter. So what I came up with was real, unbothered, truthful, and healing for mine. My legacy. Reflection is a special and vital part of your development. Reflecting on the meaning of life offers a powerful opportunity to look deep within. Sometimes reviewing our lives allows us to consider our value and purpose. This process helps find meaning with which we can align our life choices and decisions, both looking back and going forward. If you were to leave a legacy behind in the world, what differences would you like to have made? Consider ways in which you can move forward in life filled with a meaning and purpose. Is it here in this place that your self love will shine the brightest? My legacy. I want to leave a legacy of love, friendship, and family. Real, genuine bonds that can't be broken. Focusing on not being and taking care of tasks, one task at a time. Okay. You rock. Complete the following letter of appreciation for your hard work, dedication, and willingness to express self love. This kind of work can feel uncomfortable and challenging at times. You are an amazing woman filled with many gifts and strengths, and you've taken big steps into your journey, taking a moment to express the appreciation to yourself. This is my letter to myself, my love letter to myself. Dear Ruth, you truly you are truly amazing. I love that you are strong no matter what. Thank you for making self-love priority and for taking the time to self-discipline and maintain your life better. I know there will be challenges along the way, like people constantly challenging you to make them happy and not yourself. I'm proud of how you stood 10 toes down and learned to make yourself the priority. You showed and learned that you have special qualities like creativeness, extreme strength, and self discipline others usually don't have. And you learn to forgive yourself and love you more. I am impressed that you have stuck to reaching goals and not allowing anything to stop you anymore. I hope you will continue to grow in self love by maintaining self discipline and continuing to achieve goals successfully and make yourself proud. Thank you again for being so awesome. I love you. Yours truly. So that's my love letter to myself. It says 5 takeaways into the future. Write down 5 takeaways that you will carry with you into your future life after having completed this workbook. Think about something you learned and see differently now. If you want, you can write them down on a piece of paper and pick one to focus on each day. So mine was self-discipline, self-love, regardless of flaws, being more grateful. It's okay to only connect to those who show more love for you. It's okay to be selfish. You really are all you really have. Okay. Now here's a quiz. Now if you guys want to do the quiz too, you can do it. All right. So basically, they have a quiz that's called "How far have you come on your self-love journey?" Let's take another look and see where you are now in your journey of self-love. Rate these statements on a scale from 0 to 5. Add up the total score. So the questions are: I believe I am worthy and deserving of love. I believe I am special. I believe I have a purpose for living. I am able to communicate my needs and wants. I'm accepting and loving of my body just the way it is. I do not need to be romantic relationship to feel whole. I think it is okay to make mistakes and not be the best. My feelings matter as much as everyone else's. I place equal importance on my feelings and other people's feelings. I deserve good things in my life. Okay, so, that's weird. I didn't count up my score. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 48. So it says, in my score, which is 40 to 50, you have achieved a wonderful sense of self love. Keep on growing and loving yourself. If you scored between 40 and 50, that's what it says for that. If you scored 30 to 40, it says you are on your way. Keep taking time to remember you are special and important. 20 to 30, at times you feel worthy and other times you struggle. Don't give up. You are worth it. 10 to 20, you struggle to feel worthy and lovable. It takes time to develop self-love. Keep going. You've got this. 0 to 10, you have taken a big step towards beginning to recognize the importance of self-love. Keep practicing and growing through the lessons in this workbook. You might even consider adding extra support like psychotherapy and checking out resources in the back of the book. Keep making self-love a priority. You deserve it. Okay. So that's it. I'm not going to read anymore. So basically, guys, I already read to you majorly what I got out of reading that particular chapter. But what else I got out of reading the book, like in all, is you don't have to feel like you have to be perfect to be loved. You don't have to feel like, if you make mistakes, that you're no longer capable or worthy of love. Even though, sadly, that's what a lot of people try to make people feel like. They try to make people feel like they don't deserve love anymore because, oh, you've made mistakes. Or you don't deserve love because, oh, you've done certain things that God's not pleased with. Listen, God loves you regardless. And that's the kind of love that God wants us to have for ourselves, where we love ourselves regardless of our environments, regardless of everybody else around us trying to tell us that we shouldn't love ourselves. Love is supposed to exist whether perfection exists or not. And I feel like in the human race, sadly, we're taught the opposite, that you don't really deserve love. Like a lot of times, people, even though people say one thing, they say you always deserve love, but then they treat you another way, where they'll put you in a space where you feel like you don't deserve love because of how people been treating you. But you don't have to feel that way. You can understand that you can make mistakes. You can, possibly do things that may not be the best thing to do and still deserve love, still deserve peace, still deserve happiness. You don't have to listen to people trying to tell you that, your life is over after a certain age, or is nothing else that you can do, or, basically telling you about how your future is going to end up being. The only person that knows how your future is going to be is God. And 9 times out of 10, he's not going to tell you how your future is going to be because he wants you to just live and find it out that way, as opposed to him just telling you. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. I enjoyed sharing the information with you guys because I'm definitely not a gatekeeper. And so once I finished the book, I realized this is a really pretty good book. And so that's why I decided, you know what, I'm going to take it and share some of what I read with my viewers, and maybe it'll help y'all out. I know it helped me out. helped me to really recognize a lot of things. And it also helped me to understand life, you know. Um, just as well as you have to always remember that you always deserve love, regardless of what mistakes or complications or issues you might have in life. Also, other people deserve love too from you, even though they might make mistakes, even though they might mess up, even though they might mess with you in a way where you might not like it all the time. They still deserve the love and respect. And as long as they're giving you that, you should give it right back. So y'all make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. Become a part of the Truth Tribe. Because when you vibing with Ruth, you vibing with the truth. And it's just that on that. And I'll see you when I get back.